Hey, Tatum, what did you think of tonight's show?
I mean, it sounded good from what I heard.
So you were more interested in your book than this awesome motorcycle show?
A little bit.
Okay, there's nothing to be ashamed of because your brother did an awesome job of hosting it. That would be Logan Tyler back on Tech Talk Taco Tuesday. He talks way more, but the show is better for it. So now here's the show.
Jimmy thinks it, so here's the show.
Either the desk here.
Oh, we got.
Are we live?
Yeah, I think so.
Live from Pahrump. This is Tech Talk Taco Tuesday. This is the show where we talk about motorcycle-related products. Logan, back here. I like how there's only half of me on this screen, on this view. There we go. We'll fix that. That one button push. That's all it takes.
Yep.
So hopefully we're live on all the things. No intro tonight. We're going straight to, they say straight to tape, except we're going straight to the internets. Tech Talk Taco Tuesday is the show that answers your motorcycle product related questions from the Valley of the Dirt People, where currently I'm the only Valley Dirt People resident sitting here. Logan?
Yep.
How's Vegas life?
It's pretty good. Not as dusty.
Not as dusty.
Yep. not as good riding, but
not as good of riding. This is true.
No, but a lot of fun.
You mean more chicks?
Yeah.
Right. That's I kind of expected that. So we're streaming live right now on our YouTube channel and also a couple of Facebook pages, the Old Guys Moto Fitness. So if you old guys that want Moto Fitness questions, ask away. If you guys on the Instagrams have questions, we're going to go straight to you guys. You get them first because we started there earlier. Sometimes our Facebook people have to wake up. The YouTube people have to wake up. Do you have the streaming link? You know what I forgot to bring over here was my computer.
Oh, yeah.
But I can get that later. We can do that later during the break. So make sure that we can call up the chat thing on there, or you can call up those questions. So for those of you that are new to the show, the way this works is you ask a question and I answer it. I can answer 9 out of 10 questions without referring to a reference manual. And we're not really sure why Matt's not here.
I think he's helping his sister out with some work, but
that would be really convenient that it's at the exact same time as some sort of hockey ball game or something.
Yeah, it was perfectly from 5 to 7 that he was busy.
And is that the same time as the ones that the LeBron James doesn't play in that team, right?
I don't think so.
Okay. So there's a hockey game going on in town, and Matt misses this, I think, because of that. I don't know, but he wouldn't. I didn't ask. So any questions over here? I'm going to look at my things. I'm not seeing any questions on the Instagrams. So the thing about the Instagrams is if you have a question, you have to ask it now because I clip you if we ever go to any of our other things because it involves another channel of streaming or pushing buttons or something like this. But you need the ads too. So this show would not be possible. Tech Talk Taco Tuesday, episode number 192, without the help of Yamaha, Taco Moto, that's tacomoto.co, Scott Sports, Climb, DDC, our original sponsor, Trail Tech, Fasst Company, Seat Concepts, Bulletproof Designs, and Double Take Mirrors. Here's a double take mirror so you can look at what you're seeing right now. That's like infinite. Yeah, if you're watching what I'm doing on the Instagrams. The double take mirrors. Bolt right on through ram mounts. So they have a couple different designs for adventure bikes, enduro bikes, and they're good if you need a mirror for your motorcycle. If you want to make your non-street legal motorcycle legal, or you just want to upgrade the horrible mirrors that come on your standard dual sport or adventure bike. So, do we have any questions popping into the feed there, Logan? Not yet.
Just some comments. Well,
Some comments.
So, here's a question. Dan Zoran
Okay, Dan.
says he bought a brand new Beta and I dented the frame. Big deal or no?
Ooh. Yeah, it's a big deal because I know what a motorcycle costs these days, and I know this. I know the feeling that you're having, but you don't have to worry. It's probably not going to affect the feeling of the bike too much. So it kind of depends on where the dent is, and I'm sure it'll have some sort of effect, but not huge. Because I had my Husaberg 570. I had one that I used to along with my KTM 200 to set up King of the Motos, which was an extreme enduro. And it came with plastic frame guards, which I took off. And sure enough, I tipped it over a rock and put a ding in the frame on the main side rail. So I'm kind of curious where his ding is. Maybe he can answer that to us. But I got one in one of the kind of the frame spars, up just above where your foot rests, and it was a pretty good one. And then after that, I felt bad. Should have had the plastic cover on. It actually would have helped. And then I got another one a little bit higher up. It was kind of more of a scratch, but it was pretty deep. It was enough to kind of gall it and scar it. On that bike, I never felt it doing any different. And I remember when I was racing like Yamaha YZ125s in the desert, I used to smash the crap. Oh, wait, even when I was racing like an XR 250 back in the day, I used to smash the crap out of the lower frame rails. It just looked like somebody took a sledgehammer to it. But it wasn't until I had an XR 400 that I smashed them completely shut and realized that at that point, when you smash them completely shut and closed, then you start feeling a chassis difference, some handling issues.
So he says it's under the ignition, bottom rail, left side.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to affect it too much. It's more when it's kind of up on the spars. That lower cradle doesn't do as much as you would think because it has a bolt, like the bottom engine mount bolt and the lower back engine mount bolt or the swing arm pivot, depending on how it's hung in there. Like those kind of eliminate a lot of the chassis feel from that, as long as you don't stiffen it up. And like denting it can stiffen it up a little bit or make it wallow a little bit more. I think when you smash like the XRs completely shut, you realize the engine was doing most of the stiffness of the chassis down there, but then they would start breaking. So I think they actually kind of got stiffer. They would start cracking at the welds or where they connect to the main thing. So I wouldn't worry about it. It's just when you look at it, it's painful. What kind of skid plate was he running? Will he answer us that question?
Hopefully.
And my buddy El Chipowski, just joined us on the grams, and I want to get this guy on the show. He doesn't know why, but I know why. Chip is an old time skate photographer.
It's the stock.
Oh, stock skid plate.
Yeah, for Beta.
And he went right through it. It plowed. It basically was a plastic one, and he plowed right through it.
I would think so.
Was it on accident, or was he doing and I mean by on accident, was it just an unsuspecting rock that just completely caught him off guard, or was it like was he doing like kind of extreme enduro or kind of hopping up things and caught a rock?
Went right through the plastic.
Right through the plastic.
Yep.
Expected or unexpected? Like was the riding he was doing? Because we're going to get into a good discussion about like by accident plastic skid plates versus aluminum skid plates now. So of course, if you don't expect this to happen, like if you're out like smashing rocks and doing extreme enduro stuff, you should expect this kind of thing to happen, and then you have to protect your bike accordingly. Stock skid plates are meant to kind of glide over things and sort of deflect things that are flying up from hitting the frame. When you start getting into more protective skid plates, then all of a sudden you can start hitting your frame on things Okay, we gotta have to angle that camera. So what you need to do,
It's the yeah.
that's a camera angle issue, but you can figure out which camera that is. I don't know which one it is. You think you know?
I think.
We're trying to. It is dedicated to my late father-in-law, Ned McNabb. That's okay though.
Yeah, no.
This episode is now dedicated to Ned.
Yes.
I was using Ned's phone today. Ned's phone is streaming you to Instagram right now. So I think it's that one right there.
I think it's this one.
Oh, you think so? We'll find out. Turn them all just a little bit, and then we'll decide if that's it. That wasn't the one that's on right now, but we'll see which. I would push the button. Okay, back to skid plates. So if it's kind of like this discussion between like how, what skid plate you're going to be, you could just angle that one over kind of a lot more.
Yeah.
Because there's no one else here. Just don't get it all the way over to your zone. You can go right to the end of the old Rooster Endo board. Remember having to make that thing for us, Logan?
Yeah, that thing was fun.
Yeah. Back in the project days. I would go a little bit, just a tad more, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Aluminum versus like thicker plastic versus stock. So there's a lot of different companies that make these from Enduro Engineering makes good aluminum skid plates. There is, what was the Utah? There was a company in Utah. I think you might even been in the name that made a thicker aluminum skid plate that was more protective. And then you can go to like the TM Design Works that makes the thicker ones. Now there's the Molecule, and there's another one. We always have them in our Rooster Endo segment that people put that stuff. So, it depends on how you're going to do it and how much protection you need. And if it's like kind of an accident, I try not to dress my bike up for the accident, because sometimes it can, you're like, I see people that say they dress for the crash, and I almost treat my bikes the same way. So back to my Husabergs, I had my one Husaberg with the dented frame, and then I took my nice one out. I had a newer one. I bought another 570. I don't know why, probably because it has so much power. And I was out riding it, just doing normal riding, nothing too crazy. And then by accident, I started riding extreme enduro stuff that I shouldn't have been riding on this particular bike, because I could knock it over and dent the frame without the plastic skid guard, this plastic frame guards that I had now 2 sets of. And so I dented a second frame. So moral of the story is, if you're going to dent your frame, you're going to dent your frame. I guess. I don't know.
So another question is Paul Britston, 22 WR 450F competition ECM FMF 4.1 1450 years versus a 22 EXC 500 get ECU breed delete and open up SXF muffler stock 1448 gearing. What bike do you think is faster? All the parts at through. Just back from a ride with my bud and was blown away.
Okay, so what was the first bike again?
22 WR 450F.
Yamaha.
Yeah.
This show is brought to you by Yamaha. Yamaha. Go to. I wish I had the read that I used to have here, because I was gonna read off the website and some cool little thing. But there's no doubt that the WR should have just blown your doors off, because it is a Yamaha and they're the best bikes.
Yeah.
I'm blown away by how good our WR 450 is, how fast it is. I just did the video on it today, kind of we'll call it riding impression video. But when you started reading off all of those specs and stuff, my eyes just started spinning in my head, because I couldn't piece it all together. But I don't think that anytime you're on any 450 or any 500, they're all kind of in the same ballpark. I mean, a certain size motor makes a certain kind of power, and then it all comes down to how it is delivered. And I'd almost be willing to bet more money than I can afford to lose that and the Yamaha can't be completely stock, because completely stock is completely choked up and whatever. But if they're in a more stock form, the bike with the more stock form would allow the rider to get the bike to wide open and accelerating better than the one that has all the mods done. And when I say accelerating better, it's probably not going to be spinning the wheel as much, nor did it ever try to lift the front wheel. It just drove forward. So a lot of it has to do with traction and other things. But when all of these modifications start kind of coming together, unless it's tested carefully, the power band does stuff and the traction does stuff, and it's not as, quote, fast as you think. It might give you what we like to call showroom bounce or parking lot impression. But actually drivability and rideability tend to go a long ways in which one is faster and which one isn't faster. I'll tell you a story that I've told a few times, many times, I don't know. I went riding with a group of guys, some of them that you guys know because they're internets people and they're people that are involved in the industry and stuff, and they all had very, very modified bikes, and I was on a completely stock Husky 501. Stock. And we were going up a sand wash, an uphill sand wash that was kind of gravelly, but good traction. Dirt was medium wet. And we were just riding up the sand wash, which took novice skill level. Nothing, but it was flowy, and it had some tight turns where you could accelerate, where you could get the throttle wide open. I passed every single one of the guys on their super modified, whether it was loud pipe, medium pipe, super tune, this, that, the other, this gearing, that pipe, on a stock bike. I out accelerated them out of turns, down straightaways, wherever, and you can say what you like. I'm an old washed up racer. Maybe I was a little bit better at carrying a little bit of speed in the turn, but guess what? That's free. And I passed more of them because their wheels were spinning a lot faster than they were going. So that comes to drivability. So that's where. Do you know what the moral of that story is, Logan?
You want to brag how fast you are?
Oh, boy. Turn the throttle farther, son. Turn the throttle farther. Yeah. On a bike that actually puts really good power to the ground. Yeah, I did want to tell everybody how much faster I am. Is that the way it came off? Did you notice that I'm wearing really nice pants today?
You are. That's weird. You don't have shorts with holes and paint on them.
Well,
that I'm used to.
I just want to point out that maybe sometimes I listen to people around me, and Matt dressed really, really sharp last time, and he said it was for motivation. It gave him motivation. So I'm motivated to make this show better. So I wore some nice pants. Not that I'm going to show you. I mean,
look good, feel good.
Is that a thing?
I think so.
Do they teach you that in school?
No, they teach me letters when they're supposed to be numbers, and when they're supposed to be numbers, they teach me letters.
Okay. You mean you're trying to get a grade as opposed to learn something? You want to get an A? Yeah. Okay, I don't understand this, but I so I'm trying to see if I can make the show better. But I think motivation is from within. It doesn't matter if you're motivated to do something. Mm-hmm. You can't fake it. You can't fake yourself into. Well, I'm trying right now. This is the best motorcycle podcast show where I talk about motorcycle related products right now on the internets everywhere. So I don't see any questions on our Instagrams, even though I tried to wave at some people. But if you are on the Instagrams right now and you're missing out the bigger picture, we're over on our Facebook channel and on our YouTube thing. And you can find this on the podcast platform. So if you're sick of listening to it when you want to look at pictures, and I'm pointing at them. Go to one of those channels because we're going to clip you right now. But it's good seeing you all on Instagrams. Cheers. We'll see you in the near future. And now I have to remember how to turn it off.
X on the top right.
X on the top right. Logan can done the end now, right? And then I want to share it. And what you have to do is you have to type in Tech Talk Taco Tuesday or TTTT number 192. Yeah. And then share it with your friends, and don't post any bad pictures on my Instagram account. Okay. Again, if you are looking for an awesome seat concepts are proudly made and developed in the USA by true motorcycle enthusiasts. Seat Concepts offers a wide variety of seats, from stylish replacement covers to complete seats. I love the complete seats. There's usually one behind me right now, but I hid it for myself. Various heights and width profiles, which is very important, especially if you're a taller guy or a smaller guy, or you want a little more comfort or a lot more comfort. They have unmatched support and impact dampening to the rider. So, Seat Concepts has a seat for you. You can see all the options at seatconcepts.com, and they've been saving asses since 2009. Am I all posted up, Logan? All good? You can also support this show by clicking through our Rocky Mountain and Amazon links on our site. Go to the one that says, there's a little tab up there. It's dirtbiketest.com. Support us. So I have a couple questions here. Did somebody ask me if I ride with Paul Torres? In the chats. Give me that thing back.
Yes.
Yes. What was the question?
Jimmy, or Dave Donnelly says, Jimmy, you ever rode with Paul Torres? He was at Erzberg.
So the answer is no. No, I haven't ridden with Paul Torres. That guy's gnarly. That guy is absolutely... I was watching the video, but I'll tell you a story. I don't like to talk about racing at all on this channel. We should just start doing a racing podcast so I can talk about it. Yep. But then it would all be about me and my racing. But back when I raced Erzberg, the 2 times I raced it and the 2 times I finished it, which kind of surprises people, and I don't like to brag or anything, but I just like to point out the facts. The first year I went there as a BMW factory rider on this bike called the HP2, which is a twin-cylinder dirt bike. And it was a 1200cc monster. Awesome bike, by the way. And so the idea was that we were going to go there, and they had the Iron Road Prologue, which is the way you qualify for the hare scramble. And it was wide open, fast, Baja style. And so BMW, I was a former rally racer, so they said, hey, why don't you come over and do this? And I said, I want to race the hare scramble. That's what I really wanted to do. And they're like, not on this bike. And I'm like, yeah, no, let me try it on that bike. We'll just see how far it'll go. And they're like, no, it won't go very far. And I knew enough about Erzberg to know it wouldn't go very far. It would only make it a certain distance. But boy, would it be a spectacle. And I would have been able to start on the first row because I almost won. I actually posted the fastest time ever up the mountain, but unbeknownst to me, you actually had to back it up with a time that was within 15% of your first time, but I blew my bike up the second time. But that time would have put me on the front row. Well, actually, I would have won. I would have been the first gate pick quote on the front row, because the fastest time was the fastest time. You didn't have to have the second time. But they said, no, we don't really want to do that. It would look bad when the bike, and whether you break a cylinder off the side of it or smoke a clutch or whatever, it would look bad for the bike. We don't want to do it. And I said, well, I want to race the hare scramble. And they're like, you can race anything but a KTM. That was the exact words. And so I talked to somebody at Gas, and I got a Gas, quote, factory ride, which meant I got a 2-year-old beat-up bike that who it wasn't Littbetzler, Manny's dad. It wasn't his bike because he was also on the team. It was he was also on the BMW team. I'm so bad with names I can't even remember. Chris Pfeiffer. So I got Chris Pfeiffer's sort of race bike from last year, and Chris Pfeiffer has also won Erzberg previous. So it wasn't a bad bike, and I managed to qualify. Also, I was the fastest 2-stroke on that bike up the road because it was like mold was growing on that bike going up the road. But it had a 6-speed transmission, and believe it or not, gases are just as fast as KTMs. And when you have a 6th gear on a super fast road, and trust me, they have slowed that Prologue down a bunch, because unless Paul Torres has the speed of Graham Jarvis racing up that road, and he's not very good at going fast, that Tenere 700 should have been the fastest bike up the Iron Road Prologue. And before, it was kind of like it was its own thing, and guys would race Dakar rally bikes and all different kinds of things. So different thing. But anyway, so BMW said, no, you can't race it. Rode the gas, managed to finish. Then I went back the next year, and BMW says, you have to race the HP2 and the hair scramble. And I'm like, hell no. Now, because now I'd done it. Now I knew. I go, I'm only going to make it so far, and then it's going to break or, or smoke a clutch or whatever. And they're like, we don't care. We want you to do it. And I'm like, no, I think I'm going to, because I really wanted to finish in the top 10 in the hair scramble, which I didn't do because some South African kid fell on top of me in Carl's Diner. I had to hike out, and I probably told this story before, had to hike out, steal a brake lever off a Yamaha, because that's the only ones that would fit a gas to kind of continue and keep going. And so I didn't finish top 10, and I didn't. But they got another guy to do it, and he made it. It'd be really interesting to see how, I saw videos of Paul riding, and he was just sending his bike up the forest, which would be the absolute hardest thing for the big adventure bike, or things without runs. If you can't build a little bit of momentum, you're screwed, because it just comes down to traction, and there's never a lack of power. It's a lack of getting traction to get momentum and continuing on up the hill. So haven't ridden with him. I don't think I want to, because that guy's gnarly. I don't do that kind of stuff anymore, or ever want to. Is there any way that little window, the Restream channels window, Logan, can go to the chat?
I haven't found a way.
You haven't found a way to do that? Okay. We have other questions. Did anything else come flying through the...
We have... Oh, this one's for you. So Dave Black says, hey, my girlfriend has small hands, which causes her to throttle up sometimes when she's grabbing the front brake. She worked on a technique, but it's still having problems when panic braking.
Smaller than these? I'm holding up my hand. I'd be willing to bet her finger length is longer than mine.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked.
Yeah. Thanks, Logan. But I have no idea what the technique is or anything like that. But when you have small hands, so sometimes, grip diameters make a big difference. Like, I notice a big difference in grip diameters, so I like running kind of smaller grips. And then lever adjustment, just understanding how to adjust the lever so that you're able to reach it and it pulls in. And some people, and I'm one or two fingers on that front brake, so when I pull it in, and if it touches my knuckles, that front wheel should be locked up. And so I'm really critical with lever adjustment. And so what I'm guessing is that her lever is adjusted so far out, she actually has to release off of the throttle. And I'm sitting here at this table doing my braking demonstration with what?
The
clutch hand? Yeah. It doesn't, I don't know which one's which. Okay, so I'll switch. I'll switch it over to the other side. But I'm willing to bet that lever is so far out there that she's having to disconnect her hand. And then please make sure when she's doing this in the beginning, learning how to doing it, we're not trying to do something like stand up or do anything crazy. All you're doing is in a big open field with nothing to hit, and you're just working solely on controlling the front brake. And I think I'm pretty sure Dave is taking my 2-day class, and you understand that we have some drills for this. But I don't care. Well, this is why you take a class with good certified instructors that understand what they're doing. We would right away pick out that, hey, that adjustment's off, that lever position is off, or man, you're going to have to really work on smaller grips, or you're doing something so wonky with your hand position, which generally revolves around they're not releasing their hand ever off the grip. They've clamped onto it like it's like they're Velcroed on, and they never let go, and then they try to do kind of crazy things. So I can actually see her actually reaching out, grabbing the lever, and then in pulling it, she's rolling her throttle hand on, if that's what we're getting to. But yeah, we have a school for this. Not teaching till October, but we have a school that teaches some of these drills.
Also, it might be so stiff that she's having to use something other than just her finger muscles, that it's starting
the front brake lever. Oh wow, that'd be a really screwed up bike.
Well,
yeah, we've seen it before, right? Yeah, yeah, little delicate pulls on the lever. It should be effortless to get that front brake, activated, and it shouldn't take much pressure really to get the front wheel to lock up. So, okay. I think we answered that properly.
Yeah.
Trail Tech makes awesome instruments for your motorcycle and kickstands too, especially if you have an older KTM. But the Trail Tech has a lot of different instruments that measure whether your bike's running, hour meters, RPM, odometers, and of course the Voyager and Voyager Pro GPS units. I love the Voyagers for their buddy tracking because I ride, Logan, you may not know this, but I ride so fast and I don't like to wait that I need to track you on my GPS unit.
Yeah, the first time that I used a Trail Tech was with you, or the Pro, and I'd get close to you, and then you would go away. And I was like, okay. I'd get closer, and then you'd go away. Because we were in some technical trail up in our discrete area.
Yeah, right.
And I was like, how's he know? Like, does he have me as well?
Yeah.
And then I got back and saw and
how it
got
worked.
the rundown with him, and I was like, oh, that's really cool.
Yeah. So, buddy tracking, you need this. Of course, Garmin has a much more expensive and complex solution to this, but just go Trail Tech. Okay, Logan, another question.
Funnel web or twin air filters?
That's the question.
Yep, by Facebook user.
Facebook user. So, in all honesty, I think they're both good filters for as far as keeping dirt out of your engine. I've run both of them, mostly twin air, not so much funnel web. I know Trevor has a ton of experience with funnel web. We also probably have a test on one, but you can't go wrong, I don't think, with either of them. I'm not 100% sold on the funnel web, like exactly how it works. Those weren't around when we did this big extensive air filter test back at Dirt Rider Magazine back in the day, but we did some interesting stuff just to see how kind of filters worked. And it definitely has the more surface area, but the kind of stuff that plugs filters seems to get past that area and down deeper into like the second and on some filters, the third layers of foam, the different densities of foam before it really starts plugging. And then there's the air filter oil, which I believe has a larger effect on how much they plug and don't plug. Because some oils are almost too sticky, and some are not sticky enough. So there's this crazy game that you can play with all this stuff. But I would say, unless you're just in the most extreme conditions, that you wouldn't see any sort of difference between those two filters. Yet, and this I haven't ever tested this, so when I got in really silty conditions, which are would plug filters, I always ran a filter skin, a cover over the top of it, so that you could kind of pull it, and we would oil that with a light oil, very light oil, so it would catch some of the stuff. And I think of what it mostly did was actually drug a lot of the bigger pieces off, and some of the bigger pieces would catch the smaller pieces, so it would give it a kind of a second life. But I think the filter plugs a little more internally, and therefore the pyramids that they put on the funnel filter, that stuff is getting down to where it's getting stopped, because that stuff on the outside is I would say relatively coarse. So you would for your specific use, you'd have to test it. What I do know is that when there was like bigger chunks of dirt that would go in, I don't know if you've ever raced in the right kind of conditions where you get those round balls of dirt in your air filter. Have you ever seen those before? Ever seen the balls form?
Like tiny little balls.
They can be all different sizes.
Yeah, that's the only kind I've gotten.
Yeah, it's like in a motocross track, or like in really loamy dirt where you're riding and stuff. I noticed there were a lot more of those off of a funnel filter one time than I noticed with a different kind of filter in the same kind of conditions. It wasn't a full back-to-back test, so it could have been the dirt, because those are kind of unique. But yeah, I have to say, like I said, I think they're both good filters. We would have to actually perform a real specific test to find out if there was any huge advantages to one or the other, or if the advantages they talk about actually exist. Trevor runs them all. I think he runs them all the time in his 24-hour bikes. But you have to go check some of his posts and see what he's running currently. Any more?
Got any recommendations for a good saw mount?
A good saw mount.
Yep.
Yes. So I guess he's talking front number plate one. So I'm doing my recall, and somebody in the chat can probably help me right now. But there is a guy, Bill Dart, I believe is his name, and he's up in Idaho, and he makes a kind of custom built. He does small batch runs of chainsaw mounts. I'm pretty sure that Enduro Engineering is making a chainsaw mount as well. And the trickiest one ever was built by Trail Tech, and it was kind of a skunkworks project. And I think he had them on the website for a while back when Jeff was running the place. It was made out of the same stuff that good skid plates are made out of, that plastic material. And it literally was a click lock where you just dropped it in, and it click locked, and you just pull the tab. You could actually start it in the mount and unclick it and pull it out on a very specific steel chainsaw, the little limmer that everybody was using at the time. Yeah, check out, search Bill Dart on Facebook, or check into Enduro Engineering, and both of those maybe, and also Pro Moto Billet, I believe, had one for a while. And I was a big fan of using a Pro Moto Billet rear fender rack, and then they had a plate that you could bolt onto it to adapt the chainsaw back there, because I didn't. Well, I need a headlight a lot of times. You heard about my trail rides, right, Logan?
Yeah, I've been on a couple.
Yeah, what time do we come back?
Whenever you're tired, or whenever your other people are tired.
Yeah, other people, they usually signed up. So
yeah,
12 hours, 150 miles, whichever comes last.
Yep.
It was kind of our thing. I don't do that anymore, but that was our thing in the old days. But you're going to run out of one of three things: energy in your body, gasoline in your bike, or daylight. And I always said you could do something about two of those things. You can get a headlight, and you can get a bigger gas tank. The energy in your body thing, that one hurts.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Where'd he go? Dan Zorden says, can you talk about mid-valve float and how certain adjustments to valving affect different things?
Mid-valve float. So I'm not familiar with that particular term. It sounds like a term that somebody that at a suspension company that makes some sort of product that I imagine if that's good, they make it better, and if it's worse, they eliminate it. So Dan, help me out here. But I will tell you that the mid valve inside of a fork, whether it's mid valve or mid speed or mid stroke, and this is where everybody gets confused because different suspensions have different ways that when that starts coming into play. In my experience, if you're dealing with a Kayaba or a Showa fork, your mid valve is the way it is. It takes a suspension guy to go in and adjust it, via valving. And I don't know of a whole lot of riders that come off and say, hey, I need my mid valve adjusted. But if you're adjusting a WP fork, and this goes for almost all of them, I don't feel like you actually are adjusting the low speed adjusters. It's almost like you're adjusting like a mid speed adjuster. So it's there. Now we've kind of explained like what it is, where it is. So is it the mid valve, mid speed, or what is that? What is the float that we're talking about? Does he say anything? So
how much oil you can get to pass through the ports before the stack flexes.
Right. So it's mid speed, and yeah, it's. I kind of don't. I don't understand. I don't know if I understand. What was the original question? Back to mid valve float. Can I explain mid valve float? Or
Yeah,
was it,
can you talk about it?
Can I
and
talk about
how
it?
certain adjustments to valving?
Yeah. So
affect different things?
if you start generally if you have like on a normal fork, if you start cranking in on the compression and sometimes the rebound, depends on the design of the fork, and that's why it's so difficult to explain, because that's going to be a little bit slower. Sometimes it will cause the mid valve to kick in sooner and therefore make it stiffer, which is kind of like by design how it's supposed to work. But then it really depends on how the mid valve is set up. You know, like how quickly it kicks in, how long before it sort of blows off. You know, how much it takes to get going. But yeah, it's, and like I said, the KTMs seem like they're transition. It affects that a lot more on a KTM, like the valving does. So you never can get the real slow speed or low speed adjustment change. It kind of goes straight into the mid valve on the stuff. And like I said, some of the aftermarket companies make adjusters that get up into that. So you actually have an adjustable stack on the mid valve. I know the Kref suspension that I have, that's what the revalve control essentially is. And it allows you to stiffen that stack, and it makes a bigger difference than you feel is the only way that I can describe it. Most people don't actually, and it's almost like a little bit like high speed in your rear shock. It kind of affects the ride height and a couple other things more than what you're actually getting in your hands. So hopefully that helps answer his question. I'm curious about what bike he's asking about specifically. Did he throw that in there?
No, but he had a previous question that a beta.
It was on a beta, so that could be Kayaba, or what's the other?
Yeah.
What's the other? The Sachs fork.
Yeah.
Right. And as funny as it seems, it's like I've ridden
KYB SSS.
Okay, yeah. So the KYB, those, and I don't know, but they're not the same as Yamaha ones. I don't know. I don't know. I've ridden the betas back and forth, and I honestly, for stock, just when you're testing stock stuff, I almost prefer the non-race edition stuff on the betas. It just seems like it's tuned to the chassis a little bit. What does your dad have? Does he have? He has a beta.
Yeah, I think it's the RR 390.
So he has Kayaba stuff.
Yeah,
on his bike.
Both.
Oh, Kayaba and a Sachs?
No, both KYB at front and rear.
In rear, front and rear Kayaba. Yeah,
because there was a couple of years where they were split.
They had a Kayaba fork and a Sachs shock.
Yeah.
And I was always able to get the Sachs stuff to work pretty good. I mean, it was kind of, if I was going to keep the bike for a while, and I did this for a couple times with betas, we took them, rode them for 5 or 6 hours, serviced them. The oil level was always off. Sometimes it seemed like they really broke in. And I haven't had the opportunity to do that with the Kayaba Sachs. I just rode them very quickly, and it didn't seem that much better. Let's put it that way. Maybe it is for some people, and I'd love to do a test where I just switch the stickers on those two bikes. have two betas, one with Sachs and one with Kayaba, and just switch the stickers on the damn stuff and have people ride them and come back and tell me what they thought. I would love to do that test. It's almost like that test they did on Hondas. It's amazing how good a Pro Circuit sticker makes the suspension work on a Honda. Unbelievable.
Oh, really?
Oh, unbelievable.
Yeah.
Just the sticker.
I heard fender colors do a lot. Front fender colors.
For me,
yeah.
Yeah, I was blown away by that too. It's amazing what your brain tells you. You know, when you're focused on something you're not supposed to be focused on.
Yeah.
So, okay, next one.
Paul Brinston says that anyone ride adventure bikes.
Does anyone ride adventure bikes?
Yeah.
I do. Yep.
I do once a year.
You got canned this year. You're grounded.
Yeah.
You probably can't even go on an adventure bike ride. You probably have to ride that 390 again.
Yeah, that's a hoot. It
was fun. We got a video about that. We need somebody to edit that video. It's almost there. I have a guy. There's a guy someplace. He's in the internet. He's supposed to be working on a song, and then I figured if I got the song, and we'd get it done. That's why Double Take Mirrors is such a good sponsor of the show, because they gave us money to get that video done.
Yep.
And every week I don't get that video done, they're on this show for free. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. But we're going to get that video done, because maybe when you're 23 years old, we'll get it done. And then we're like, look at Logan. It's like Logan growing up.
Blast from the past.
Yeah. We're experimenting with that thing they call vlogging.
Yep. Yeah.
Right.
That we actually didn't have that many problems on that trip.
No.
One flat tire, and that was, one chain too. But other than that, was...
I saw somebody walking up to the door there. You have a gun?
No, it's my sister.
It's your sister?
Yeah.
Logan said he was going to bring strippers to the show tonight, because it's Tech Talk Taco Tuesday and strippers, but no. No. Were you sleeping in the car?
No.
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 Okay. I don't want to know. I don't want to know. Okay. Next question. We were talking about how the bikes didn't break. We ride adventure bikes. Everybody does. Once in a while. You should. But yeah, so what were our problems? Did we have a flat tire?
We had one flat tire.
That was in Idaho.
Yep. And then...
Oh, you don't have to leave.
I'm going to go read my book.
Oh, read your book.
Yeah.
Okay. You could sit in Fabio.
Is that the chair?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll grab my book and then...
Yeah, just as long as it doesn't make too much noise. If it makes extra noise, then we have to clip it.
Okay.
It was my chain and your tire, I believe.
So I got the flat tire.
Yep.
It's amazing how I put all the... Oh, that's right. I did a whole video on how we had to set up all the cameras to change it.
Yes, and time lapse and...
Yeah, so that's... Okay, so we did the tire change, and then... Oh, you broke your muffler... broke your muffler mount. Remember, your bag fell off.
Yep.
And it caught in the tire, and it broke the muffler, and then we used a fence to wire it back together.
Yep.
And then, the chain, which the stock chains in those things are suspect. Like, it was amazing that mine held up for so long, but yours had a lot more miles on it. Your bike did.
Yes.
And it just, all of a sudden, it gave up the ghost. It was stretching, like every 100 miles, it needed a quick adjust.
Well, it stretched in half of the chain. You remember how it did that?
Yeah, it was out of round.
Yes.
That was super, super strange. I've replaced that chain. Those bikes haven't really gone very far since they've been back here, but I did replace the chain. Yeah,
they got a good riding. And then...
Okay, next. Any other questions on the... Does he have an adventure bike question for us that maybe we could help him out with?
Yeah. Thoughts on an old school 990 Adventure R versus a new 1290 Super Adventure R?
Whoa.
I'm old school on this topic.
He's old school on the topic. So the 1290 is not old school. That's a modern bike that's fuel injected. There's a lot of computer. There's a lot of tuning. You can adjust the traction control. You can adjust the power level. It is crazy what you can do with the new 1290 Adventure. And it feels kind of big. It sits low. You can sit into it. It sits low, but it feels like a big bulbous bike compared to the 990. And 990 is pretty simple. Depends on what year. I think you can get those without ABS and all the other stuff. So, I mean, my 950 is a little bit earlier than that. it's almost a dirt bike. There's hardly anything on it. No ABS, no nothing. No electronic anything. Carburetors, the whole 9 yards. So it sort of depends on what you're looking for. I mean, if you're old school and you like carburetors and all that stuff, I would go old school. Well, 990s I think were all fuel injected. But if you're going to get a 990, get the last year, and if you can get one of those the Baja editions, those are really good. I think it's even more old school. I think they actually left ABS off on that bike, if I remember correctly.
Oh. Bike Mojo says, what's your opinion on T2 expansion chamber guards?
T2, which means two-stroke?
I'd guess.
Yeah.
Well, I would guess it's a company.
T2. No, 2T would usually reference two strokes, but I don't have, if it's a company, I don't have any experience with that particular one. But so expansion chamber, I'll bring a blast from the past. There was a company called the Bonsai Brothers, and their dad was also a fireman like my dad, and they made these. They're still around. It's this stamp plate that kind of wraps and conforms to an expansion chamber, is kind of like a rock guard. And so there's those kind of things, and then there's really like E-Line makes some really sano carbon fiber ones that literally they pop onto the pipe. You still have to put hose clamps on them, but they pop on and protect the pipe. And then you see these monstrosities that are built into skid plates that literally they built this big aluminum skid plate and this big giant pipe chamber protector that God only knows what it does to the chassis as far as the handling goes and everything, but it seems like a better way to protect the pipe if that's what you want to do, because when you start really protecting the pipe, when that load hits it, the pipe doesn't absorb. It's not like the pipe's like a crush zone, and it'll absorb some of it, and it won't transfer it into the exhaust port and try to break the cylinder flange or the entire cylinder off of the engine cases. And I've seen both. I've seen guys hit rocks so hard that the pipe doesn't crush. The pipe guard does its job and kind of helps the pipe keep some of its form until it breaks the cylinder, and then everything starts crushing.
Yeah, Cooper had that problem. He had a little guard on his, and it broke the
flange.
Yeah,
the exhaust flange.
Well, the cylinder.
Oh, it broke the whole cylinder.
Yeah, the little where it meets.
Yeah, that's what the flange is called.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it makes the cylinder pretty much useless unless you got somebody who's a really good welder that can weld it without warping the cylinder. Is that on the bike we rebuilt?
I believe so.
Did he keep riding it after the pipe broke off?
Well, he got a new cylinder and then rode it.
Oh, so he didn't blow it up?
I don't think so.
I need to see the inside of that motor. I need to see the inside of that motor because I need to see those parts that we put into it.
Oh, I think he sold it. Like, I don't think he wrote it.
Oh, he needs to. Does he know who he sold it to?
I don't think so.
Oh, boy. Yeah. No wonder he doesn't want to come around.
Yeah.
Yeah, no wonder he doesn't want to come around. That guy has some unpaid bills around here. Let's put it that way. So we won't be seeing him next season. Probably not.
I don't know.
Yeah, that was the deal. I told him I'd get that bike fixed. We'd put it back together. A little late at night, unfortunately, so it didn't go as well as planned. But
yeah,
like those parts weren't free. Yeah, and the idea was we were going to put them together, use them, and tear it apart, and see how they lasted. So there goes This is a whole nother project down the drain. Next question.
Asked this on a Facebook forum and got a lot of mixed answers. 2-stroke premix fuel used in 4-stroke. Will it harm anything? How about short-term or long-term?
Yes. Love answering these questions.
Yep.
Like to put them to rest. But the good thing is this question will get asked in another forum next week, and you'll get all the same answers from all over the field. So as someone who has done this multiple times with carburetors and fuel injected in 4-strokes and 2-strokes and all different kinds of things, here's what I know from experience. For the most part, as long as you're putting a normally mixed, so I'm going to go all the way down to like 20-1, all the way up to 100-1, gas to oil mix inside of your 4-stroke, and you just start running it, it's not going to hurt anything. It might change the jetting a little bit. Your 4-stroke may smoke a little bit more. You might build carbon up, especially if it's a really rich, if it's like down to 21, which is crazy. Nobody does that anymore. Like 32 to 1 is the most oil I hear in gas anymore. Now it's more like 40 to 1 and 60 to 1 because we're starting to learn that these oils are much better, and they do, they do plenty of lubricating at those levels. But so let's just say you're putting 40 to 1 fuel in a 4-stroke. It's not going to hurt anything, whether it's a carburetor or a fuel-injected bike. Same thing, like in a 2-stroke, yes, you need it. But some people say, well, why would you be putting this in? So the reason I put it in was because with the ethanol and the gas, we were having a lot of water. Ethanol absorbs water, and then bikes would sit, and then it would separate, and then we were getting corrosion inside of the carburetors. Well, interestingly enough, someone who was smart said, hey, why don't you try putting some oil in the last gas tank, last gas tank you run through it, put 2-stroke oil in there. And so we were running it like 40, 50 to 1. We weren't too particular about it. Running that through there, and that oil goes in there and starts coating the carburetor. Got in there and splashed around in the carburetor, and lo and behold, it actually kind of protected, like especially the pilot jets plugged a lot less frequent than if there was no oil run through it. And then they would be able to survive, 2 to 3 months of sitting without having a problem. But as you know, it gets very hot out here, and then we started, and I kind of thought maybe if a little's good, maybe a little bit more is better. So I started putting down to like 32 to 1-ish in there to think maybe it would work even better. But then, especially if the gas ever started evaporating off, would it leave clumps of oil, like, this blob in the bottom of the float bowl? And so maybe we went a little bit too far on that. But when I took carburetors apart, my 2-strokes never plugged up. But then they have a bigger pilot jet. They don't have as many cavities inside the carburetor and things. So I would say putting like 80 to 1 in a 4-stroke to preserve the carburetor is probably not a bad thing. I wouldn't run it. There's no need to run it all the time. I don't think you're going to get any extra advantage out of it. I had heard in some of the racing days of the 4-strokes, especially in the old 4-strokes, that people had done this because the 4-strokes were getting hot and seizing. And so they tried this, but on a modern 4-stroke, they're so good at oiling and they're squirting oil all over the place. I don't think that this is something that you would need to do, but it's not like going to instantly plug your fuel injector or wreck your fuel pump. Hell, KTM is now on their new TBI 2-strokes that are XC and SX. You run premix in it. The Extreme Enduro guys, from what I understand, last year and the year before, even in their TPI bikes, they'd removed the oil injection system and were running premix in this. So as long as that oil is a good oil that mixes in with the gasoline, you should not have any problems with it. It's just, I was curious so it's not going to hurt anything as long as you're within an acceptable range. And I would wonder what the reasoning for it, like, if you come to a place where you can only get gas and you only have 2-stroke gas available, premixed 2-stroke gas, don't be afraid, just run it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not gonna hurt anything. If you're doing it to kind of preserve the life of something, maybe a little oil on certain parts doesn't really hurt. So don't run pure castor oil. And get a good synthetic, a good mixing oil that mixes good, or the injector oils are usually a little bit thinner, so maybe those would help out. They mix a little bit easier.
Paul Briston about the adventure bike.
Mm-hmm.
He has the 1290 now, and he wants the 2013 Dakar Edition 990.
2013 Dakar Edition 990.
Yep.
Trying to remember what that was. I think it was a Baja. But that might have been okay, so 2013, yeah, that would have been maybe a Dakar edition. So I think it was a 2016 was the Baja one, or if I remember correctly. it's hard for me to remember all these years. I think that it's okay. You should just get a Tenere 700. Yamaha. Go to YamahaMotorsports.com, click on the Tenere link, and just check out, whether you want a blue one or a black one.
Yep.
And they even have the white and red one, I believe. That's probably the best one for you. Unless, you've got your eye on this Dakar one, which is probably a pretty decent bike. I actually did a little comparison a couple months ago. I went back-to-back riding my KTM 950 and my Tenere, and was really surprised at how good that KTM 950 was at a lot of things. It's surprising that a bike that old can kind of hold up. And I think we just went off into outer space trying to build this sort of perfect adventure bike. Everybody wanted more power and lower seat height and better suspension and bigger fuel capacity and more electronic controls, and none of those things went together very well. So we may have built some pretty horrendous adventure bikes trying to come to the ideal one, which my preferred bike is the Tenere 700, even if Yamaha wasn't sponsoring this show right now.
Paul, he likes the dual exhaust, and also the Tenere doesn't have the 990 power, but
correct. Yeah. And correct. So on my 950, I have a single exhaust because I needed more fuel capacity. So where my other muffler used to go is now an extra gas tank. So because it has plenty of power. And so the question I have for Paul is so when he's wide open, like on his whichever adventure bike.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to pause there, and then he can continue.
Yeah.
I can't remember the last time I was really wide open ever. I mean, other than when I was really just trying to go wide open.
Yeah.
You know what I rode this? This. I rode that watercraft, that Yamaha watercraft. What's that thing called?
Superjet?
Is that called a Superjet?
Yeah.
No, the 4-stroke one with a 300 horsepower. The one your dad has. What's that thing called?
Oh, that's the GX or something.
Dude, 1800cc motor.
Yep.
Dude, okay, so I'm going to tell you the story about. So we took a weekend off and did some watercrafting at the river. These guys had this one, and your dad had one. I saw it earlier in the week, and so he says, "You got to ride one of these things. It's gnarly." And I'm like, "Okay, whatever." I have one that's like an 1100, it has an R1 motor, and it's plenty fast. It gets up and goes. And so another guy was riding around on one of these, and everybody's talking about how fast it is, 300 horsepower. I'm like, "Why do you need 300 horsepower? Mine probably has 100 and something, and it already just cavitates and spins up and does all this stuff." So you should ride that. And I go, "Yeah, you can ride it." And so I go hop on it. They push me out, and I'm going to just go I'm just going to do a quick little spin, and they're like, "Hey, put that strap on."
Yep.
The one that so the kill switch is connected to your wrist, so when you fall off, the thing pulls out. And I didn't scream like a little bitch when I gassed it. But let me tell you, I have not accelerated that hard since I was on a really fast road racing sport bike with really good traction. This thing just took off, and I only went half throttle maybe before I had to lift and just went, whoa. What is it going to do? Because it really hadn't even come up on plane yet. So fast.
Yep. Well, my first time, I almost screamed like a little girl because my feet went. The only thing that kept me back onto it was my thighs hit the handlebars. I just got
you rolled back.
Yeah, no, I got just thrown off the back, and then I somehow caught myself with my thighs. So
it was I was kind of ready for it because they told me it was going to be fast, but I was absolutely blown away by how much traction it got and how it accelerated. And I just was laughing, and I'm looking back at him. I'm like, "Thanks for telling me to put this thing on. You guys are right," because I didn't expect this. Mm-hmm. And then I went and twisted the throttle, and this thing's like a top fuel dragster on the water. Again, Yamaha, motorsports. This would have to be water sports. They have a whole division for that. If you ever got that much traction on the dirt, that would be insane. I can't explain to the acceleration. It's that giddy. You just get giddy because it's you're on a dragster. I don't know how that normal people can buy that. You should have to have some sort of special license.
Yeah.
The fact that they rent those to the Teletubbies that are all riding around at the rental places.
Yeah.
So, okay. Well, anyways, back to the holding the throttle wide open. How much power do you really need? And yeah, when you're going down the highway and stuff, and one of my only real issues with my 1008 is that when I get on the highway and I want to start really breaking the law, going too fast, it uses a lot of fuel. It's not that it doesn't go that fast. It just uses a lot of gas when you start. It's just a 700. It's not a 900 or a 1200 or whatever. So, but I'm trying to ride it less on the road. That's my whole goal, is to find more dirt ways to get to where I want to go. Hence, adventure riding. Okay, Logan, it looks like it's time for us to do a quick commercial break.
Okay.
Hey, we have some Rooster Endos. Did you ever get the other ones filled in?
I did not.
Didn't see them.
I only
Okay.
got 3.
So we have just a few Rooster Endos for you, and somebody's going to win $100 tonight, I think. I hope, if they're good. So go to the commercial break, and we'll see you on the backside.
This one.
Oh, how do you do it?
Oh, not that one.
What's up, Moto Buddies? Mike here from Taco Moto Co. What is the Taco Touch? It's the best service in the industry. Virtually 24/7 tech support via email or text, and it's like having a dirt bike doctor on call every day of the year, helping you fix your bike or recommend parts or setups for you. If you've ever received an order from us, you know that the Taco Touch extends to our fulfillment, and our orders come with the coolest stickers that you've ever had, buying parts from anybody before, and a handful of root beer barrel candies. All of our Taco Moto Co. branded components come with a no questions asked lifetime warranty, and we'll even extend out the warranty of other manufacturers, OEM, and aftermarket parts where we can, sometimes for life. We test and tune endlessly and exhaustively and obsessively. We're trying to destroy everything that we can before you get your hands on it, to look for weaknesses and to improve it, or to make recommendations to the manufacturer. And if it's something that doesn't meet grade, then we don't offer it on the store. Everything that we carry is something that we have personally used, tested, and ridden, and raced, and knows meets the high Taco Touch demanding standard. Go out and get some adventure.
Hey, We're live again. Hello, check 1 2. I was getting instructions on how to use an iPhone, so I'm still learning this thing. I got a new one, and it's not working. So that's a perfect segue into. Now I just turned my phone. Now look at that. It's got a flashlight. How's that?
What are you on?
I don't know. It says add new wallpaper. I don't want to do any of this stuff.
Yeah, click that. No,
Click
center
right there, like that.
And then
Oh, there's a flashlight right there.
it.
You have to hold it now?
Yep.
Man, I liked it better when I just had to adjust points on a XR75 to make it go faster. You know what I'm talking about, Logan?
I don't, because that was not my.
Remember that Honda Spree thing that you had?
Oh yeah, no, that thing rips.
That had points ignition, right?
Oh, it did?
Didn't I come over and help you tune it one day?
Yeah, we just took the air screw out.
Or I put the air screw back in.
Well, it fell out on testing. So.
Do you still have that?
Yeah, the battery's toast on it, so I got to find a new one.
Yeah, don't use that thing around town because you'll probably go to jail on that one too.
Yeah, yeah.
Does your dad want to call in and find out how your detention is going? Now that we've got both of you little criminals in the house here. Hey, we'll go to the small screen here. Got my product of the week. For 50 years, FMF has been tuning dirt bikes into the ultimate pro level racing machines. If you see a bike with the classic red and yellow FMF logo on it, you know it's fast. We designed this FMF factory motocross bike to power your imagination and invite you to ride with our team. Enjoy the bike and become part of the FMF championship history. Go to fmfracing.com. Follow them at FMF Instagram, FMF73. This thing retails for $33. And I think you can find it. Who knows where you can find it? It's an officially licensed little toy. I don't know if I should take it out of the box. Does it make it less valuable?
Yeah, if you're planning on selling it eventually.
Do you think this will become a collector's item?
It could.
Because FMF, I'm older than FMF, which is kind of funny.
Wow.
Yeah, that's crazy to you, isn't it? I was a washed up racer before you were a twinkle in your dad's eyes. Let's just put it that way. Yeah, pretty cool. It's a Husky. It's got the 73 on it. I wonder if you push on the swing arm like you do on Travis's bike, if it throws revs. I don't think so. You're not supposed to eat this either, Logan.
That's why they put it for 5 and older.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a 1/12 die cast. Does it say die cast with plastic? It says it's a choking hazard, like most motorcycles. Did you ever choke on a motorcycle?
I don't think so.
Yeah, you never tried to eat your motorcycle?
I might have.
Because you were of the age when we had the lead ban on.
Yeah.
Remember when they had to stop selling child's motorcycle or kid bikes?
Yes.
There was a whole time. There's 2 or 3 years where they were like they said they had too much lead in them. Did you ever try to? That's the question I have, because the Consumer Product Safety Commission is all about. Now they're after one wheels, by the way.
Yes.
Your other favorite thing. So your whole life will be disrupted by the Consumer Product Safety Commission. Can't even say it. They try to take motorcycles away from you. Now they're going to work on one wheels.
Yep.
So you allegedly ate some parts of your motorcycle when you were a kid.
I could have.
Could have.
Definitely could have.
And you're still here.
Brake lever or two.
You didn't chew on the batteries because that was the big concern. Was that the batteries had lead in them and you would eat it?
Yeah. I don't know.
Not really.
I don't know if I broke into the AA bin in our house, but I could have.
Well, they didn't outlaw batteries.
No.
Just motorcycles and BMX bikes and big wheels and all that other kind of stuff. So that's our product of the week. Got out of the way. Of course, double take mirrors.
Yes.
Because Logan can't get that video done for me. Double take mirrors, the best option. So, like we do adventure bikes, these are the best ones to put on your adventure bike. They're way better than the stock ones. And you can take them right off. Actually, the good thing is double take mirrors mount on ram mount balls. And so I have a ram mount on each corner. And so if I want to take this off and put like a phone mount or a phone mount charger.
Or a Trailtech Voyager.
Or Trailtech Voyager. I have everything on ram mounts. It just makes such a Sano system. DoubleTakeMirror.com. Okay. You can always check us out at JimmyLewisOffroad.com too if you need to learn how to become a better rider. That's where I teach you how to turn the throttle farther, even on your adventure bike.
Yes.
Do we have any other questions that have popped into the chat as far as you're aware of?
Mark Johnson asked on a follow-up to the premix question, have you ever ran mixed motor oil, like 20 weight or 50 weight or whatever?
No. In gas?
Yeah.
Oh, or have I mixed it inside of engines?
Mixed in gas in a two-stroke in a pinch.
No. But no, I haven't done that. But
would the motor survive?
I'm trying to think if I ever did it when I was a kid, because I did a lot of stupid stuff when I was a kid just to be able to go riding. Like I would be out of two-stroke oil, and my dad would say, is it mixed? Did you mix it? And I could see, and I'm trying to remember back, I could see a time when I would have put, because oil, back then oil was oil.
Yeah, oil, yeah.
It's just oil. I put oil in it just so I could go ride. Because I wasn't really allowed to ride my two-stroke when I was that young. Like the two-stroke was the race bike. I had my XR80 to go riding on, but like I remember, I think we kind of negotiated. Like I would get like 1 day a week, I would be able to ride my two-stroke, my race bike, essentially to practice on because it was so different. I don't know if I ever did it. I don't think so. I don't remember a time doing this. Would it work? That's a question for Chris Reel. He could tell us. Like I said, it's not the ideal thing, but I imagine oil and oil-like qualities kind of carry on. But I've put tequila in brake systems before, and hydraulic clutch systems. Or no, it was hydraulic clutch system. That was the only liquid I had on me. And I could either process it and then put it in a little bit later, or put it in straight. And I just said, this is a liquid, I'm putting it in there because I had to go. So that worked in a pinch in a hydraulic clutch once. But I'm trying to think of other non-proper fluids. I know at the magazine we had a lot of people that would mess up putting brake fluid in slave cylinders that required hydraulic oil and vice versa, not knowing any better. It wasn't me, it was other people of, I would say, lesser attention spans and or mechanical aptitude. So do you want to get right into the everybody's favorite segment?
Sure.
Because there's probably at least 3 people that are watching this show for no other reason than to have their bike shown on Moto's Roost or Endo. Moto has everything you need for any bike you need, and they're so stoked on this show, they give us $100 to give to you so that you can get more stuff for your bike. And you're going to do this all on the screen over there?
Yep.
I'm pretty happy about this. I hope it goes well. How's the rest of the show been going? If you're in the chat room right now, comment on how Logan is doing. By the way, does anybody remember Logan from his hosting days, co-hosting days? That's another question. Because my buddy Tim, who was the only guy that was concerned that the show wasn't up on podcasting because he can't stand to look at me for 2 hours. He also felt like he was a better co-host than you. Do you have any comments or rebuttals on that?
He probably said more than 10 words, so he's doing all right.
You're going to give in that easy. He didn't have any hard names to pronounce like we used to. We used to have.
Oh boy, those were rough.
I didn't give him, like I gave Marco, my buddy Marco last week. I gave him a couple of the marketing emails where people wanted to make motorcycle grips with our name on them, or they were going to build us a motorcycle with dirt bike test on it. He didn't know where those were coming from. He had a hard time reading those. But Marco can just talk easily, and so can Tim. And Tim is also a really good motorcycle mechanic, so he has that up on you too. So, okay, where are we starting with? What do we got? What's up on the screen?
Greg Russell.
Okay, click.
Cancel.
Greg.
Cancel, click. Yep. We're good.
Is it up on the screen?
Yes.
Is everybody watching it?
Yeah.
Okay. What do we got?
You got this.
I'm supposed to read it off now. Wow, you're really passing the buck here, bud.
Well,
so Greg Russell, 2020 KTM 500 XCFW, Washington State plated, a seat comfort XL. He calls it a couch, a Chirby's 3.1 gas tank, flex bars and handguards, Scott's damper, Recluse Radius CX clutch, Moto Power Commander, PMB end cap with spark arrestor, P3 pipe guard, molecule skid plate, Mitas XT755 rear and C19 front, nitro mousses, and he uses the vice grips during the install. Do you know about this technique for installing mousses, Logan? This is a good thing to bring up.
What?
Using vice grips during the install.
I have used them.
Yeah, so you clamp them on.
Yep.
And this is the kind of thing you want to do if you're not super happy with. I'm looking at the screen over here. I want to look at it real quick. Can you zoom in on his bike there?
I can,
because it's pretty far out there. I like to comment on the photos, and so I'm checking this one out. I want to see the bike a little closer. I want to see how scratched up the rims are. But as you can see, he's riding in some, we'll call it Pacific Northwest-ish looking conditions. It's probably wet and muddy there. Wouldn't it be bitching to ride out to wherever that is?
Yeah.
Look at that. It's got somebody's hunting camp or something like this. It looks super solid. But when so what you do is you set the vice grip like to open up. Or so when you clamp it down, it clamps down a little bit more wider than the rim, but you kind of pinch it and it kind of catches the corner of the rim. And then that curved portion of the vice grip acts as a guide to get the bead to slide down on the back side. So kind of depending on how many vice grips you have, I used to do it this way back in the early days. I would clamp vice grips on. I'd put like 5 or 6 kind of spread around 3/4 of the tire before it started getting really tight, and then it would pull it down in. So if you don't care about what your rims look like, and in this case, his are probably always covered in mud, so it's no big deal, you can use some vice grips to get in there. And he has no disc guards, which is an okay thing for the front, but in the rear, I like a disc guard. So looks like that seat is so comfortable, it's casting a shadow on his side panel.
Mm-hmm.
I'm liking this bike mostly for the sole reason of I want to go ride there. That looks
me too.
Really
it looks fun.
Really sweet. He's got some firewood stacked up in the corner over there, so you camp out and have a fire. Get bit by some mosquitoes, Logan. Remember those days?
Yep.
Right. I won't sing a campfire song to you. That's a little weird.
You did not.
Nope. So, what do you say?
Pretty good bike.
So, is that a Roost or is that an Endo?
I don't really know what our grading scale is recently. So,
you think it's changed?
Okay, then it's just over Roost.
It's just over Roost.
Yep. Like
a mini Roost.
5/8 into the
5/8
from Endo is 0, 5/8 over.
And Endo would be 5 if it was a scale of 10.
Oh, then 7.
A 7.
Yep.
Okay, so that's Roost. So if it was a 5, it would be teetering between Roost and Endo.
Yep.
You wouldn't know where it's going to go. So once you're at 6, you're Roost, but like a light Roost.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to go with a 7.
Yep.
Okay. I bet you this guy is a big lumberjack guy. He's probably really proud of this bike, and he may want to come and wring your neck.
Well, the only reason that
Greg
not better.
Greg Rossell could be a 7'2" guy with hands like that he could wrap around the entire tire, which would easily fit around your neck.
Yeah, it definitely would.
Okay. So what's the hold up on a full Roost?
No chainsaw.
No
Unless
that's good. You know what? I'm right there with
mount.
you.
No mount.
No mount for a chainsaw. How do you know he wasn't the guy that asked the chainsaw question? He's looking at getting a good one later.
Because I remembered the name.
Okay, good.
I think it wasn't him.
Okay. Well, so you're saying that this guy would have won unequivocally if he had a chainsaw mount on it.
Not for sure, but definitely higher.
Got 2 more bikes to go. And just think of all of you people that could have got into this contest so easy tonight just by submitting your bike. On to the next one, Logan.
Okay. Brian Skewels.
Brian Skewels. Ryan.
Yep.
Secules. Okay. 2020 Sherco 300E Factory Edition. An FMF fatty that had the dents removed a handful of times and a turbine core 2.1 silencer. You can see that pipe. You can look at the heat signatures on that thing. That's getting some mileage out of it.
Yeah.
Put it back up there. There we go. I like to see that too. What are you doing there? I don't want to look at his jacket. I want to look at the bike.
Well, no, that's not live.
That's not live.
Yeah, that's a couple seconds back.
Okay, but did it creep off the screen during the show? Did it go away and then come back?
Yeah, because I can't get the sizing while it's
your mentor didn't help you out with this.
Well, it's just not there, so I don't think.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
TMD skid plate and chain guide, Polysport case savers, Sherco parts rear disc guard, Nitro Moose bibs, stock suspension aside from lighter spring rates for my weight, XC Gear Mako 360 bar mounts and Enduro Engineering flag style handguards, Bulletproof Designs radiator guards. Extra shout out to those guys. The first set I had on this bike I bent after hitting the second deer, and they sent me new ones to replace it, which is awesome company. I couldn't agree more. Bulletproof Designs. Imagine what your radiators would look like with the imprint of a deer head in them, and then squirting water out. That's and the fact that you got a second set and were able to bolt them on shows that they did their jobs. Okay, here's the other thing. I like that he's just flaunting that Sherco in front of the fleet of KTMs that he has in the background.
Yeah.
So his garage is in there. He's got his number plates from some different rides and events up there. Pretty clean, small shop, clean shop. Looks like a mud room in my estimation. I'm closely looking at. He's got a solid rear rotor. I wonder if those bikes come stock with that. I'm liking this bike. I like this bike a lot. I think it's cool. Looks like it gets used.
Yep.
I actually Sherco reached out to us and asked if we wanted to come and do an intro, which is really cool. So we might be, and Trevor's like all there. He's like, I want to go ride Shercos. So I said I wanted a bike out here so I could test it the way we usually test them. But we'll see how that goes. What's this for you, Logan?
I like the background. I don't like the two KTMs on the right because they suck to work on. And
wow.
But that shouldn't demote too much. But I'm gonna say like 6.5.
6. Less Roost than the other one.
I like the background of the
other place.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of. This place looks a little backwoods, and like he's got his jacket hanging up. This guy's ready. This guy looks like he's ready to ride. Bike looks like it's. I can't tell if the tank's full, but it looks kind of full. I'm ready to go with this. Something about this says this guy knows where to ride, how to ride. I'm claiming that one in the corner is can't really see, but it has the impression of a 2004 KTM 200. I don't know if the other one next to it just has this sort of 4-stroke feel. I don't know why to it.
It reminds me of
all the RFS bikes that I used to make you clean the carburetors on.
Yeah, all those fun bikes.
Yeah. Hey, they don't run if you don't work on them.
No, they don't.
Okay, next one up.
The other guy.
The other guy.
You can't see his name.
Tom Morgan.
Morgan, yes.
Yeah, so he has a 2003 YZ250 Big Bore. Is that going to go up on the screen here soon? Eventually? That's good. It has the 295cc cylinder and head. Boyko trued the crank to less than 1 gazillionth of an inch and run it out so it purrs like a sewing machine. We're going to make that a little smaller, maybe?
I did.
Okay. I'm watching it happen in fake time, right?
Yep. There you go. That's live.
WPC fully treated transmission. 18-inch rear wheel, gusseted chain guide mounts, hide skid plate, 3.1 gallon tank, 49 millimeter Showa conventional forks. Off of a DRZ 400, right? That's what they look like. So I was all in. I was just going, oh, this thing's set up really good. That's a really good set. And then I go, what? I didn't see that. I didn't see that coming. I didn't see it until I looked at the photo closer. Magura 4-piston radial mount front caliper for pinky level stopping power.
Well said.
Keyhole 1.5 millimeter carb bore, top half board only, weighted flywheel. That is an interesting bike, and the forks have just confused the hell out of me.
Yep.
I don't know what they're off, especially the fact that they have radial mounts on them, which is wild. This looks like my buddy. Well, remember I told you I want to get my buddy Chip?
Yeah.
He does this kind of stuff, which this commands explanation because I'm literally completely. Does he talk about his handlebars or anything like that? Not really. Because I'm just wondering like what's on top, what he's using for bar. What was the whole reason for going down the conventional fork swap rabbit hole?
Maybe he just likes them more.
Could be. I mean, in 2003, I'm trying to think. The Yamaha suspension wasn't really that good until, it was getting a lot better around this time. It was really, really improving. But I don't know. It's a nice photo. I mean, it's a decent photo. It's got the light on it and everything like that. It's unlike some of the shop photos. Shop looks clean. It's got some trophies and stuff in the background. I don't really like where that front brake cable goes, the mount on it.
Yeah, that's kind of scary.
Where's this one for you, Logan?
I like the conventional forks.
Oh, you do?
They're a little weird, unorthodox, and like he upgraded the brakes, but demoted the suspension, which is kind of weird but cool.
Yeah, I can see. So 4-piston, what he's got is he's got brake pads that are squeezing from both sides.
Yes.
So it could be very, very strong. I like that. Maybe this is I don't want to call it an Endo just because you could grab the front brakes really hard in an Endo, right?
Yeah.
This guy, he's done. I need a little more explanation. Although I'm going to go Roost on this particular bike.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. Got to be careful with those stands though. The scissor stands. I don't like. I always worry about my fingers or my toes on those suckers. So I'm gonna go Endo on this one. What's your number ranking, by the way?
I don't know. It's so weird and different that.
Does it look like he's polished the tires?
He likes his rims.
Right.
I'll definitely say that.
Yeah,
And then,
I wonder if he's polished the tire because I'm looking at they're really clean. I mean, actually, that whole shop is like almost too clean. I'm not seeing enough stains on the floor to be.
Well,
the cart's got wheels on it, so maybe he rolled it into the clean zone.
Yeah, the mat behind doesn't look too fresh.
Right.
But.
I'm going Roost as well. I think we got triple Roost here. And now it comes down to who gets the cold hard cash, Logan.
Yeah.
Brought to you by Taco Moto. What's your pick?
I think that's all you.
It's all me.
Yeah.
Well, I at least want you to pick something so I can disagree with it. And then just to completely annihilate your pick. I already know which one, and there's a real good reason why.
If we got an explanation on the conventional forks, I'm going to say that YZ.
Okay. Well, we don't have that.
Yeah.
And this is the thing I'd like to improve on Roost or Endo is everybody puts the list down, but sometimes you just have to throw that little extra bit into your description. And so the first bike, the one that was in the place I wanted to ride, everything's good, pretty standard. Yeah. I was going to go with that one. The Sherco, Ryan Sekul's Sherco is the one that I'm going to pick. Are any of these guys in the chat, by the way?
Greg is.
Greg is in there?
Yep.
The lumberjack that should wring your neck?
Yeah, actually, he does have a chainsaw.
He does have a chainsaw.
Yep, it's on his other bike. So
I like that, Greg. I appreciate that. I'm actually going to pick Ryan, and here's the reason. Is because I look at his pipe, and he's saving some money by constantly blowing that thing back out. So I feel that Taco Motor certificate would go to help him get another pipe or get another bike kind of fixed up and stuff. And he called out, and I don't want to make this a priority or think you're going to get put in first, one of our sponsors, Bulletproof Designs, for just a good shout out because the company treated him right.
Yep.
And that's super awesome that he's calling on one of our sponsors, an awesome company. I just want people to know that the reason why our sponsors are our sponsors is because I believe they're awesome companies as well. So Ryan, please reach out to Matt at jimmylewisoffroad.com. And that's an email, Matt at jimmylewisoffroad.com, and let him know that you won. You're probably going to have to let him know like 3 or 4 times because he's not that invested in the show. He just likes dressing up really sharp and thinking things are going to go better because of that. Any other questions? We have the ones on the.
Oh, might have another in the chat.
Oh yeah, we had those ones on the list as well.
No,
the notes. If you have those also, I don't know what I did with them. I was probably playing with them here and I screwed them up.
That one by me. No, that's not.
I didn't drop them on the floor. Where did the set of notes go?
Did you leave them?
I didn't go anyplace. I haven't left my. I've been a good boy and I haven't left my chair.
Well, did you not take them over here?
I did. No, they were here. I was staring at them for a long time, wondering when we were going to. I found them.
Okay.
I fidgeted and folded some papers, but I'm sorry. Do you have these questions, Logan?
I don't, but I can pull them up.
Why don't you go ahead and read them to me?
Oh, okay.
Because I'm thirsty. And remember what your original job was on this show?
Yeah. Yeah, it was a very fun one, and I think I need to get back into it.
Oh, back into answering the questions?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, don't worry. Just here, do what you're supposed to do.
On the Tenere 700 vlog, number 3.
I just recorded vlog number 7 today, and I'll try to get that up real soon. If you're anxiously awaiting, the next installment of the incredible Tenere 700 vlog.
Road Racer says, "Thanks for the setup advice. Did you find that winding the fork rebound clickers gets very tight, turning right, but never actually stops or bottoms out? I just stop cranking right in fear of breaking something. It does not stop if I back it out all the way soft. Why is this?"
Okay, so on the Tenere forks, the rebound adjusters have what we'll call a soft stop. So it's not like a complete lockout. Although if you turn it tight enough, you will lock it out. What you're doing is there's a needle on some threads that's running up through some sealing O-rings and stuff. And as you righty-tighty, so you're tightening it, so you're slowing down the rebound. As you run it up there, when you get to what we call 2-click, 1-click, 0-click, you're closing it down. It starts getting stiffer. And if you have to force it, there's a point where you're just click, 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 and then you notice you kind of have to force it to get the next click. You're able to get that click, but that's 0. It will turn harder if you want to keep cranking on it, but at that point you're ramming that needle up into its orifice and it's closing. So yeah, you don't want to go past that. So it's where it clicks naturally. And if you're at 0-click or 1-click, you get to 1 and you don't go to 0 and you start, and that's quote your 0, you start there. It's not going to make a huge difference. You're kind of in the same range. But as long as you're not wedging it shut, and you have to be really careful, especially on shocks that have a certain type of rebound adjuster. The old WP shocks were notorious for you're able to wedge that needle all the way in there and then literally get it stuck because it was like kind of a two-piece, two parts that you would push the needle in there and then the screw would just come unscrewed and there was nothing there. So careful with that. Yeah, so get it down to 0, 1, and that's your 0, and then count outwards from that. So when you start, close it up, 0, and then go 1, 2, 3, 4, start clicking it out. But don't try to get -1 clicks. Does that answer his question?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
The KTM 390 full test. Mountain Bayou. Maybe this isn't the place for it, but I would like to know a little more about how home maintenance compares to similar bikes from the top 4. Is it a PITA to do a valve adjustment and and change the oil? You did mention the air filter, also the availability of the aftermarket parts, windshield risers, bags,
yeah.
Yep, etc.
So, we did a modified one, an aftermarket. We did a modified 390 Adventure update. So that would be a more appropriate one where you could see what we did. And since then, we've done a little bit more. We just haven't updated it. I think we made some social posts and different things. So you just have to follow us. Tell a friend, share, like, comment, whatever. But so oil changes on that bike are actually relatively easy. I believe it's a single. I believe it's a single drain plug, and I don't remember it being that difficult. The oil filter is 2 bolts, and the oil filter pops out, if I remember correctly. But I haven't had to do them that much. I think we did them before we went to Idaho and rode them back, and I might have done them afterwards. Or did I make you do it? Did I ever make you do a service on one of those?
I did a oil change on one.
It was simple, right?
Yeah, kind of.
So simple you hardly remember it.
Well, I overfilled it, so I remember it.
All right.
Yeah.
Easy to work on, but keep following. But yeah, we have a modified one when we talk about that. I think we've raised the bars a little bit, and boy, did that make a difference between my bike and your bike.
Yes.
Yeah, so much more comfortable with the slight. We actually kind of had to Mickey Mouse the bar risers with some different parts, but it worked out. So that's taller screens. Do we have a taller screen in one of the bikes?
Taller windscreen?
Yeah, it's been a while since
we had one set in the, I think they're positionable.
Oh, they're adjustable, yeah.
Yeah, we had one set in the high position and one set in the lower.
Right. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's all that kind of stuff available now. The bike's been around. It'll be around for a while. KTM just announced the newer one with spoked wheels, kind of like we modified our wheels to spoked wheels as opposed to mag wheels, which I think is a good thing. And what do we have some questions coming up in the chat right now? I saw.
Paul Brinson says a big help to spray some WD-40 on the adjuster before adjusting, and when fished, cover the adjusters with silicone to keep the dirt out. They literally peel off the next time you need to adjust.
What are we talking about? Adjusters on the Tenere?
Suspension, yeah.
Huh. I'm trying to think of. I've never had to squirt a lubricant on the fork rebound adjusters and stuff, but yeah, I could see that. Probably couldn't hurt. Any sort of water displacing stuff would make a big help. Okay, next question.
We have one.
Oh, in the chat?
Dirt bike asked, ideal gearing on a 16 KTM 500 for double track and some road. Not much single track, but every once in a while.
So what I would do is I would go a 50-tooth rear sprocket, and then I would have the option of going 14 and 15 on the counter shaft. So most of my wheels have a 50 or a 52 50 or 52 teeth sprocket, but I also have some that have 48s. And with the KTM axle adjuster, it's really easy. If you have multiple wheels, in 2 teeth increments, you can adjust it. And I know that I really, really like for more rally type stuff, non-single track riding, I like the 1448. And so a 1550 would be like a 1451. I mean, 1447, I'm sorry. Because it's like 1 in the front is usually like 3 on the rear. So I would say 1550 would probably be the ideal thing, but if that's too much, then 1450 you can try that, and if that doesn't work, then you can start working on the rear sprocket to fine tune it, because now you're within this 3-tooth range to figure it out. I don't know if the 16 still came geared kind of awkward, but if it starts out with a 48, if you already have a 48, depends on what you already have in the rear. 48, maybe try 1448, and if you like that, then you're closer to 1551. I think. Yes. Math. Enjoy it, right, Logan?
Yes.
Okay. Did my numbers match up? My ratios? You're the one that threw out 5/8 earlier.
Yeah, that's fractions, not.
That's all gearing is. 1450 and 1551. Those are fractions. Essentially, they come out to a gear ratio.
Yeah. Yeah.
Math.
Uh-huh.
Enjoy it.
The KTM Freeride long-term wrap-up. AG says this bike can belong at your local short trails when you want to ride for 32 an hour. But this bike could never go to the actual wilderness trails, so it doesn't stack up to a traditional mountain bike, and most definitely does not stack up to a traditional trail bike.
So you used the W word, the wilderness word. Of course, he didn't capitalize it, so it's not true wilderness, but just be very careful when they throw this W word around, wilderness. Wilderness means no motorized, no mechanized. So no motorcycles and no mountain bikes and no wheelchairs and no chainsaws, nothing. And they try to get you comfortable with the wilderness spelled with a small W. So when they throw a big W, capital W in front of it, you're like, oh yeah, that sounds good. Let's protect it, which means let's lock it up. And I'm all for wilderness, but I think if you go into the wilderness, you should go in there the way that you were created. And that means no iPhones, no shoes, no pants. Just go in like the animals.
Yep.
And then tell me how much you like wilderness. So let's be careful throwing the W word around. KTM Freeride is not a mountain bike. And when I did my video on it, I kind of talked about how I had some mountain bike riders ride the bike because KTM put the brakes up on the handlebars. And which is awkward to me because I want, as a motorcycle. So they said, no, we're kind of trying to appeal to a different audience. So I took it to some mountain bikers, which thought at its $12,000 price, it was pretty affordable, which is crazy because everybody on the motorcycle side said, man, this is priced ridiculous. So that was more of just to get a spin on it. And then at the time, like electric bikes, and they still are, electric mountain bikes were still all the rage. And this thing will annihilate an electric mountain bike, like pretty much in every, like we'll call it high performance speed jumping. It's a dirt bike, when it comes to that one compared to a bicycle. But when you compare it to a regular motorcycle, it's like a 125 that only has 3 gears. You get first, second, and third, and then you're done. It doesn't have any more power. So that's where I was with that. But to say that it's not good at anything, I think it has I think electric bikes in general have a place. We just haven't. I don't think they're totally ready for prime time, and they're getting there. Have you seen a Stark yet? Are Starks everywhere yet?
I heard that there was someone signing with them, but I don't know who.
Oh, signing.
Yeah.
Like to ride them. Mm-hmm. Like an influencer or a racer?
I think a racer.
A racer was going to sign. Well, where are they going to race it?
I don't know.
Because I don't think there's really a class for that sort of thing yet. No, I heard they're trickling out. I heard they're getting out there, but I haven't seen a whole lot. But then I guess you have to check the internet some more for this kind of information. Still ready to ride one whenever it's available. Stark sent us a bike. It's fine. We'll take it. We'll treat it good. I have a 220 plug someplace too, so I can charge it. Most of the journalists that got that KTM electric bike could not. They got to ride it once and they could not charge it because they didn't have the plug at their house because it takes a big plug.
Yeah.
I was told this. That's your journalists. The KTM didn't get the exposure they wanted in that bike because the journalists couldn't charge it up. I wired a plug in at my house because that's how much I wanted to try it.
Yep.
Went the extra effort. And they claim they're going to let us ride the 24 XCW, FW, EXCs and all that stuff at some point too. So it's just a delay. But they don't watch this show and they don't know that I say mean things about them. So it doesn't matter because we're all Yamaha. Blue Crew, by the way.
Yep.
Yamaha, check out the new 23 YZ450 or the video I just did on the 23 Yamaha WR450, which, frankly, So I put the competition ECU on it, and I use the power tuner because now you competition ECU. I put the 2-position switch on it, and I have the Wi-Fi and stuff, and so I can use my phone. I've been playing with maps in that thing, Logan. That bike rips.
Yeah,
Like it's the most. It could be. It could. I made a bunch of different maps, but I was kind of playing. I just started making a gnarly map for it, just for the hell of it. Something you would use like on the sand track and super wet loam.
Yes.
Just to. You wouldn't really want to ride it for that long in it, but if you just wanted to have your socks knocked off, this is a WR. I put an FMFQ on it.
Yes.
And the comp ECU, and that thing is. I made it more gnarly than a YZ450. With just some tuning. Like I would never, like I said, it's a fun map.
Yeah, it's like.
And then turn it off.
Yeah, when you're feeling good that day and it just.
Yeah. What an awesome bike. So the video, the riding impression video should go up pretty soon, and then I'm going to keep playing with it. I actually kind of want to turn it into a really good trail bike. I just got to work on a gas tank and do a couple things, but pretty happy with that thing. Boy. I was really surprised. It's the most throttle responsive, just snappy, aggressive. It makes any other, because I rode all those FX bikes that Trevor had, and yeah, the Yamaha was snappy, but we actually kind of smoothed it out. I just went the other direction on this for the shits and giggles to see what it would do.
Yeah.
It'll do everything that FX will do and more. I mean, I should send the same map to Trevor for the FX, and then I would tell him, put that little strap on so when you fall off the back, it turns off.
Yeah.
So, okay. Any other questions?
450 off-road shootout.
Mm-hmm.
Charles Whitley's.
Whitley's?
Yeah. Wilts. Yeah, that's it. I wish you could have tested the KTM. That's what I'm looking to get here real soon.
Oh, since they don't listen to the show, KTM did not feel the need to get us a bike for this comparison. They got us new plastic for a friend's gas that we used, so it would look new, and then when we beat it up, it wouldn't look as bad as... Actually, the bike was pretty much brand new when we got it, so I think we kind of took his new plastic off to put new plastic on so we could scratch it up and then go ride it. But thanks for doing that. But they had kind of, at that point, it was a little bit late in the year. They felt like they had sold out of all the 2023s. No need to do it. So we did not test it. But we felt the need to include a KTM brand product in the comparison. That's why we went out of our way to get a gas. Otherwise, we just would have done it with the Honda, Yamaha, and Kawasaki. But people want to know this, and the gas and the KTM and the Husky are all pretty similar. And I think we sort of did in a way test the KTM. It would have a little bit of tweak here and a little bit of tweak there, a little bit of differences, but all the manufacturers are right now selling, well, not totally, but getting pretty close to selling everything they make. The dealers are buying all the bikes, and they're getting to dealers' showroom floors, and they haven't slowed down just yet enough to where manufacturers are like, man, we need to get some more press and on this bike. And you'll start seeing it when they start offering rebates and incentives, and then they start coming back to media that they know that'll actually test it, so that people are on the fence about, hey, I want this one or that one. They'll try to get it out there so we can describe it better. I don't want to say test it and produce a winner of a shootout, because I think it's ridiculous. Because just like on that video says, if you watch the video I did after riding those bikes on the first day, the Honda was my favorite. On the second day after racing all of them, the Yamaha was my favorite. It was they're all good, and that's the way all these bikes are. It's just, I think you can pick the wrong bike for you if you don't know what you like, but if you are a little bit adaptable, you can change a little bit. Any of these bikes can be really good. You'll just get used to what, it may not be the thing you like the most in the beginning, but you'll learn to work around it, or there's a way to modify, which Trevor's doing right now. I hope he's trying to. He doesn't call me anymore. Nobody does. But can't even get a producer in for this show. You know what I mean, Logan?
Yeah.
Yeah, might be a hockey game or something on, get in the way. But that's what we do. So subscribe, send us money in bags No, I wouldn't. It wouldn't even change what I do here. Hey, we're working on getting the T-shirt out, but we need to make a sign up form so I can get the right T-shirts made. So trust me, we haven't forgot about you there. Especially if you're Mark Daniels and it took you 3 months to get the T-shirt that you won on this show. I was going to give a T-shirt or two away tonight, but I forgot to do that. So it's one less thing I have to do next week. So that's it. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to have some tequila tonight because we didn't have tacos, so I might as well have a little bit of this. Good thing you're too young, Logan, because that's more tequila for me. This is some good 3Rs. But you're asking questions about my whiskey. I'm concerned.
Well, I was asking more about the
bottle. Right.
Yes.
Now, I'm not gonna go in there and find that it's watered down or anything like that, right? That trick's played out. Like we were doing that when I was your age.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh. You never done that before, right?
No.
Your sister just all of a sudden popped her eyes up from that book. Yeah, don't worry, you just got guiltied. So, anyways, okay. You got any other questions popping through the...
Trevor has a statement of YZ450FX just confirmed it's the best 450 out there.
Mm-hmm. And he wouldn't say that just because Yamaha sponsors the show at all. But actually, Trevor has always been a Yamaha guy. Even back when I was a full KTM guy, Trevor just hated it when I'm like, hey, get this KTM and test it. He's like, why don't you test it? You like them. I'm like, so I thought Trevor was going to like get me one of those bikes and let me jimmy it. You know, I'd put some flex handlebars on it, again, sponsor of the show. I have to do that if I want to ride it for more than one day. I already put my map in it. What would I do to a YZ450FX if it were mine? Well, this is what I'm going to do to my WR. It will get the flex handlebars. That's just that's a no-brainer. I'm liking these new Achirby's handguards. They have these ones. Wish I knew the extreme something, but they have a metal bar in there. You know, so it's a really stout handguard. I just put them on the WR. Those are pretty good. I need to find a gas tank solution to get some more fuel capacity. Bulletproof designs. I'm going to protect that thing with some good bulletproof designs, radiator guards. Better do it before I let you ride it because I don't want to get tipped over.
I don't tip over as much as Cooper, so.
Okay. Yeah. Man, that guy, you know who's good photos? What's Joey up to?
He's got a day job.
A day job.
Yeah.
Right. If you guys could figure out how to edit videos and produce content and then make my life easier, those three in that order, you wouldn't have to have a day job. You're going to start busting tires tomorrow.
No, different. I'm going to his day job.
Oh, you're going, what's that?
Remodeling.
Remodeling?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you had a job at a tire shop.
That's not for like a week.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, okay. Well, if that's it, if we don't have any more questions in the chat, Jimmy can adjust the CR450RX. Is that what he's telling me?
I'll let you Jimmy rig the CRF 450RX and put flex bars on it.
That bike would, every single one of those bikes could use the flex bars. Like for me, 100%. I can't tell you how, like the day after I raced them at the Grand Prix, like I was a little like, my wrist. I didn't ride for a couple days after that. So, okay. Well, everybody, thanks for joining in. Thanks for watching the show. Tell a friend. Share this. If your friends have really stupid motorcycle questions that you've given them the answer and they don't like it, then have them come to us. Every Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Pacific time. We'll see if we can get our team back together here, Logan. But you did an excellent job. I'm really surprised. More performance and less F-ups than that Matt character.
Sweet. That's all I hoped for.
Right. I think you're going to leave with the FMF factory MX bike.
Okay.
Do you collect that stuff?
Yeah, I have a couple.
Okay.
Don't have one in the box, so this will be...
That's good. Start your collection when you're my age and somebody says, because like you'll be 60 something or other, the FMF will be doing their 100-year bike.
Yes.
Probably have wings on it and hover bike or something like that. You're like, I got a 50-year one that some old dude gave me.
Yeah.
So awesome. And with that, everybody, we will see you out on the trail. So cheers.